How can mindful eating work for you? Well, that's a question that many people perhaps have heard about it and think, what on earth is it? Well, how can I make it work for me? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be giving you some tips on exactly that, how you can get it to work for you. So, hi, I'm Vanessa and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, and I talk about all things the emotional, psychological side of eating to help you with your weight loss. So before I get started, please click on the subscribe button, click on the bell, and let's go. So what is mindful eating? Well, it's like pressing the pause button to everything that is going on with you and around you with regards to food. So you are really then becoming observant to, the food and how you feel about the food, your emotions that are going on inside you, but also your thoughts and your beliefs about your food and yourself whilst eating and being surrounded with food. So how will it help me to lose weight exactly? Well, it's by paying close attention to everything that you're doing and underneath the surface that will allow you to make changes. You see, awareness is the first step to any change, and when you can become aware of, what you're doing and why you're doing things, you can then look and start making changes, and you're also doing it without judgment, and you're also doing it being observant. So hence it enables you, puts you in a driving seat to be able to make positive changes for you. And with those small changes, lots and lots of small changes then make big changes, which in the long term you will see weight loss. So what are the benefits to mindful eating? Well, as the more you practice it, the more you become in tune with yourself. You really understand yourself better because you're becoming curious and definitely less judgmental. And when you do that, you end up being a lot more, happier, perhaps relaxed within yourself, but also less emotional. And because you are then becoming curious about your emotions that come up with you, for food all the time, and you're becoming curious with them, being less judgmental with them allows you to really sort of like bring up those emotions, explore those emotions, and then they stop bothering you, they stop being a trigger for you. And so whereas perhaps food at the moment, or has been, really emotional, you feel stressed, angry, bored, and you just eat, or perhaps you binge out, you do something, when you start to become mindful, they start to just sort of calm because you can manage your emotions that much better. You're aware of them, you know what's coming, and then you put practices in place to stop sort of emotionally reacting by eating food. And in the end, food becomes this happy place, this relaxed place, just like a normal sort of swing with the flow, and then it all starts to work really well. The key to making this work is having that attitude of being mindful, so in other words, being really open and being non-judgmental and being really empathetic and understanding with yourself. Because if you want emotions to come up for you, where you can then sit and then look at your emotions, observe your emotions and look at your habits, if you're going to scold yourself, berate yourself, oh my God, that's what I always do, I always eat that cake, oh my God, I'm so fat and horrible, and you call yourself horrible names, you're putting yourself in this horrible position where you feel rubbish about yourself. But if you can go back into sort of, having curiosity, as I say, having openness about it and non-judgmental attitude, you can go, what was it about that? Why did I go for that? What emotion was I feeling? Oh, why was I angry? It allows you to really explore it, and that's what's going to be the key about it. So where do you start with it all? Well, start with it at meal times, okay? Now, there are some great exercises out there on the internet about studying a raisin, and this can be a really, really good place to start. But really what we want to do is make mindful eating work for us, every single day. In other words, day in, day out at a normal pattern, a normal routine. And one thing that we probably do on a regular basis is, eat our food. So you've got to turn off all the distractions, okay? Turn off TVs, turn off phones, and just sit and be with your food, and just start there. So you just start looking at your food and just notice what comes up for you. Are you salivating? Are you getting excited about eating your food? Are you going, do you want to rush straight in and gorge on it all? Are you going to savor each bite, right? So just notice, that's what I mean by being observant. Just notice what's coming up for you, and then just notice how you eat the food and how it feels. So you're feeling on a physical level as well as an emotional level. So take your time chewing your food, all right? Really important too, not just for obviously your gut health, but also for you to observe, to go, what are the tastes like? What are the textures like? How am I feeling when I'm sort of tasting and feeling this? And what's it like slowly starting to feel my stomach fill up? Because so many of us are cut off from, you know, our heads to our stomachs, that we don't notice our stomach filling up. We don't notice how it feels bit by bit, and hence then we overeat. So take your time and just notice, and then notice what it feels like to take your time. Notice what it's like when you finish your food. Notice what it's like to just sit there and look at an empty plate. Just notice all of things. And if it helps, you know, get your little dictaphone on your phone and say, just talking to it, or if it helps, and if you want to write it down, because then you can keep a record of your progress. Right, I would love to hear how all of this is going to help you and what you are going to try with your mindful eating. So comment below and I'd love to know. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next week.